Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Bill here. Welcome back to my channel. Well, it's another stormy day here in northern Utah. It seems like every time I make one of these videos, it's a stormy day. It's hard to believe that Utah is the second driest state in the union behind Nevada. However, we didn't come here today to talk about weather. I want to do part 2 of my series of things to do on your rim-to-rim hike. So if you're planning on doing your rim-to-rim hike, or at least the majority of you are going to be descending into the canyon via the North Kaibab Trail or the South Kaibab Trail. One of my YouTube friends refers to the South Kaibab Trail as the knee wrecker. So let me jump into my first recommendation of things to consider as you're preparing or doing the rim-to-rim hike. The first thing I would recommend as you're preparing for the rim-to-rim hike, as you're training for the rim-to-rim hike, is probably twice a week get into the gym and start working your quads. If you can get down to the Manzanita rest area via the North Kaibab Trail, which is the steepest part of the descent on the North Kaibab Trail, or get down to the Colorado River on the South Kaibab Trail, without your knees feeling like rubber, believe me, you are going to be positioned beautifully to successfully complete your hike. And I would strongly recommend that you just get in there and at least a couple of times a week and work those quads. It will pay tremendous dividends for you as you're descending down the side of the canyon. The second thing that I would recommend is that as you're making the descent down the canyon, keep in mind that pretty much everyone is either right leg or left leg dominant. And what people tend to do as they're descending the erosion steps, and there are a lot of erosion steps on the descent, what they tend to do is they favor one knee, which is typically their dominant leg. If you do that, what's going to happen when you get to the bottom of the canyon is one of your knees is going to be far more fatigued than the other. So what I'd suggest that you do is consciously, deliberately make sure that you're alternating as you're descending down those steps. You're alternating between your right and your left knee so they're both equally stressed. Again, will pay major dividends for you when you get down to the bottom of the canyon. The third thing I would recommend, and you don't oftentimes see this, but I have at 71, as many of you guys know, I did the north to south rim via the North Kaibab up Bright Angel, and at 72 I did the south to north rim via the South Kaibab up the north rim. Here's something I would really recommend that you consider doing. As you're going down those erosion steps, it's not uncommon for people to twist an ankle or twist a knee as they're going down those steps. What I would encourage you to do is sidestep down those steps. In other words, have your shoulders perpendicular to the length of the erosion step and sidestep it one leg at a time. If you do that, it'll be much easier on your knees going down, and you'll minimize the chances of blowing out your knee or twisting your leg or twisting your ankle. I was watching a video, I've watched it a couple of times, of the woman who was descending down the North Kaibab Trail, and as she was descending down towards Manzanita, she twisted, rolled her ankle, and wound up fracturing a foot she wound up fracturing a bone in her foot. And literally, I mean, great respect and admiration to her, literally finished the rest of the hike from the descent of the North Kaibab all the way up Bright Angel Trail. And that's an extraordinary achievement. But if you consider sidestepping down those erosion steps, you will eliminate the chances of, or at least greatly reduce the chances of rolling your ankle. The fourth recommendation I would make, ladies and gentlemen, and I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback on this, but what I would recommend is hiking poles. These are the actual hiking poles I took with me down the canyon on both trips. I actually did a third trip. down Bright Angel to the lookout and back up. These are the poles I took. These hiking poles can be such a tremendous asset, and they're so lightweight. Remember, as you're descending down the canyon, most of you will be doing it in the dark. These hiking poles will help ensure your traction as you're going down the canyon and minimize your chances, especially over those erosion steps, minimize your chances of twisting an ankle or twisting a knee, but also in other parts, they will help minimize the chances of you actually slipping on the trail and going down on your keister. The other thing about these hiking poles is that as you're ascending, they will balance you out somewhat as you're making the ascent and make it a little bit easier on you. So, ladies and gentlemen, those are my 4 recommendations of things to do on your rim to rim hike part 2. I hope you found them helpful, and I'll see you on the trail.